All right. Welcome to our first episode of the Bridge and Beyond podcast with me, myself, Mona, and my co-host, Muzet or Baba 2. Welcome to our first episode where we talk about everything Chelsea and beyond. Tigumire Chelsea chete.
Beyond the side of it.
Yeah, it's always interesting to talk about other things that will be going on. So yeah, we talk about everything. We started Stamford Bridge, but always look past the scoreboard. Today's episode is about where Chelsea actually are right now. Not headlines, not panic, just the state of the club and where the project is heading. Are we confident enough on what's going on? When the guys came in a few years back, are we on the right direction? So Mzet, welcome, my friend.
Welcome. Probably the new season as well. Oh, yeah, this question that you just posed, it's explosive. It contains everything. I'll start by this. Normally, Chelsea, now I listen to a lot of people when they're talking about this project. And one of the people that I rely upon is Simon Jordan. One of these shows he was talking about how good the guys are, the owners actually, specifically Iqbal.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I'm not going to say I'm a big fan of Jordan, but when he's talking and when he's discussing something, when he's emphasizing on how good that person is and how successful he is and how he trusts that person, sometimes you just have to take the word for it, you know. That's also coupled with the issue of protest and stuff like that. It kind of like bring some mixed, feelings, some mixed emotions, things like that. Back to Chelsea, where we are, what's going on, a lot is going on.
It's chaos.
You don't even know where to start. The question, where are we going? It has got a lot of answers. Are we going to be successful? Are we going to achieve something? Are we going to win trophies or not? I mean, it's all, it's all, we hope it's going to be okay. We hope we are going to win. We hope we are going to be successful. Also, we hope whatever they are trying to do themselves, be it profits or anything, it's going also to be in there. That's the only wish for every Chelsea fan, but we really don't know.
That's I 100% agree with that, because from our past discussions, if there is someone who was a staunch defender of the ownership and trying to understand where they're going, because when they came in, they said, give us, 4 windows. So I kept on emphasizing on the 4 windows, but now I think we're now on the 4th window. This one is the 5th one. And after the game against Arsenal, I looked at the bench. Even though we didn't have some guys who were absent, Palmer, Rhys James, said all these other guys, but still, I felt after how much they've spent, I understand they haven't spent $1 billion on the first team only. I do understand that kind of thought process, but at the same time, I thought after $1 billion, you must have a like for a like change, from the bench. If you look at Arsenal right now, that's where we wish to be, right? We wish to be in a situation where if Cole Palmer gets injured, we have a like for like individual who might not be on the same level as Palmer, but he is able to execute whatever plan or tactical approach that has been laid down by the coach. But at the moment, it's all chaos. And I'm just gonna ask you in terms of, are you confident with the ownership? Are you confident? Just taking a look at, I'm just gonna put down some skeletons right here. They've had five managers, all right? 5 managers. If we include, what's the name of that Brighton guy who remained a little bit, who coached for 1 game? So that's 6.
Bruno.
So We're talking about Bruno.
So
Anyway, we'll just say five. We'll just say five. And then these guys, okay, we do know them as businessmen. We know them as businessmen. These guys are businessmen, but they haven't been able to have a front of shirt sponsor for 3 years. They have fired 2 CEOs now, if I'm not mistaken. 2 CEOs, they have been fired. It's just been chaos. What do you think of the ownership at the moment?
right, like I think now they've just kind of like looked me in, like, yeah, you hooked me now. If you remember when these guys came,
Hmm.
my judgment started with the appointment of Porter.
Hmm.
Like I was all over the place. I'm like, guys, it's not about football. It's either they are clueless or they have a certain agenda. I mean, us just being asked fan would just say anything. I think we can just say anything. Just say anything. But, from that day on, there was a period of time probably when they were spending their money. Now, when I was like, you know what, there's no one who can spend this with a sort of a hidden agenda or something like that. So I think I'm going to give them a bit of that. Like I didn't come out of this critic state that I've always been about them. So I just started to follow, and then I gave myself on the issue. You know what? I'm going to forget about the past the Chelsea that
Yeah.
really are into me. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna follow this, look at it, and then maybe something gonna come up. And then it reached a point where we started to win. When we won the Club World Cup and when we won the conference, I started now again to gain more confidence. I'm like, thankfully, I'm
I
seeing
think
the
it's starting
direction.
to bear fruits.
This thing has started now. So, thinking, I was ready to forget about all the past from since the time that we won the Gold Cup coming, Club World Cup coming. I was ready to forget about the past. So I thought they were going to stick with Maresca, no matter what, because he has won and he's showing that he can win. And them backing him and stuff like that, I expected something better. But now, my anger now is on the decision that they made about Maresca not backing him, not building on the winning of the Club World Cup and things like that. So I say, people at the end of the day, we are not, I mean, my
I think I do agree on that one, especially after winning, after, of course, conference league. Like it's to me it's a trophy, but to be honest, I don't rate it, because even if I was the coach with that team, I was gonna win it, because like yeah, we're talking about some days would they have $500 million squad against the 1.3 million squad. We're playing against fishermen. So, but still, it's a trophy. And then you get to the Club World Cup. We won the Club World. To be honest, like what you said, we thought, or personally, I thought that we're going to start building on that. I thought, okay, we have qualified for the Champions League. Now we're going to get a front of shirt sponsor. I thought, okay, we've qualified for Champions League. We've got 2 trophies in the pocket. For sure, we're going to attract top quality players. But what did we get? Our left wingers can't start. They're starting from the bench. Our left wingers, 100 million.
No, man.
They're not starting. Well, on that note, I'm gonna ask you a little bit. Maybe while it's doing this, we're gonna we have a chat about the recruitment strategy. Recruitment strategy, building this notion, building for tomorrow, struggling today. We have to struggle, and then we build for tomorrow. I believe all Chelsea fans, if they were now on board with building for tomorrow. I believe so. I believe there were still some sections of the fans which still didn't buy it, but I believe, I would say, maybe 70 to 80% of fans had bought into this idea of, okay, bring the best young talents, build it up, and then you think, okay, Rhys James now, he's what, 25, I think, 25, 26. In 2 years' time, these guys, they're gonna be 27. If you have all these other guys, Cucurella, they're going to be seniors, like pro experienced guys, and then you have these young guys, right? But I thought that maybe they would put little bit of experience in there, just to sort of like mix it up. I don't know. What do you think? And especially now that they are going for Jackie, this French guy, Jackie 20, I think, 20 from France. Tell me, what do you think about all this?
So, so just take it from where I was saying expected. I mean, I expected the club to build from winning the Club World Cup going forward. And for sure, when you are building, when you have one such trophy or such a trophy with that team, right? The profile of the team, you would expect you would think, okay, for Premier League or for competing in Premier League and for competing in Champions League, now we need some guys, some strong, I mean, experienced people in critical positions. Like I expected an experienced defender. That one was not a question because we've been struggling.
Yeah.
So I expected an experienced defender. I expected a goalkeeper. I'm not going to mention Charles Sanchez too much. I'm not going to talk about him, but I expected a goalkeeper. I also expected probably just someone here when experienced the winger or an experienced midfielder. Just for these guys, for someone to rely on, like to say, okay, guys, we are competing on these fronts. Okay, on 3 or 4 fronts. So yeah, then you would need the youth to get experience and stuff like that. But you still need those people to compete on it. So considering that now, for the same issue defender, we are considering a 20-year-old. I mean, it's boggling everyone's mind. It's kind of slapping the face on Chelsea fans, if I'm to be honest. Because remember, Maris asking for a defender, and then they said no. And then now they're thinking about, okay, let's break this guy up, and then you go for a 20-year-old. I mean, yeah, we're in for a ride.
And on that, I would just add that it's mind-boggling because we have Anselmino. He's at Dortmund right now, and he's playing very well, mind you.
Yeah.
Then we have Mama Dusa. He just played in the Senegal final. All these are kids, right? All these are kids, and to be honest, there was a time I really wished it was, already January transfer because, he was actually a free agent. Thiago Silva, I wanted him to come back. I'm not going to lie. I just wanted Sekuru to just come back and just help out to. It's not ideal, but I guess it's just coming from a place where we are just yearning for experience. Because to be honest, Chelsea, I feel we are just left with a few pieces. Trust me, it's not much. It's not much.
That's probably the surprising part of it, whereby we are probably trying to say we are not good enough, the players are not good enough, or when you have injuries, we are done. Probably we don't need much. We don't need much. With a good coach, with a tactical coach, probably you need just probably 3 players, 3 experienced players. Where they will be just in those crucial positions, making decisions somehow for some of these young players to say, you know what, guys, do this, stand here, and then you are good to go. I mean, basically good to go. Because we have the influx, we have a very big squad. Let's not deny it. These guys are talented. They are
talented. But I was just going to say that they are very talented, and I just feel that I think we are a proper forward, less left winger, a very good left winger, maybe another midfielder and a centre back. I feel that's where we are lacking, a bit of experience,
The good thing about the experience, where it has an impact a lot is on decision making. Like we have situations where we have our wingers, both flanks you have youth, you have young players who, when they reach those final, final third, the decision making that could probably be only the difference between winning and killing off matches and things like that.
Yeah.
Decision that is going to take when he reaches that position. How am I going to execute it? Is it going to be a pass? Is it going to be a shot? Those we just games, that little experience whereby there's a winner who is going to decide some matches for you. It's like what you used to have with Hazard. The midfielders who are going just to be there no matter what.
No
The
matter
defender
what.
that is just going to die for you. Like we don't have building that in China. We don't have that defender who is going to just die. That goal line clearance, that is going to be the difference of the day. We lack that. So it's about these things.
And just to finish off on this one, and just a side note on this one, have you actually noticed that of all our center backs, right, all of them are disposable? That should tell you something. All of them, they're disposable. No, we can't say there's actually one center back who's actually untouchable. All of them, maybe we might say maybe Koyo. I'll give Koyo a pass. I'll give Koyo a pass, maybe. But Chaloba, his future is actually in the balance right now. Yeah, we're talking about, if we talk about Tosin, I don't even want to talk about Tosin. But yeah, shit. That's not what it is, like. Anyways, still on Chelsea and all. Maresca is gone. You know how I feel about that one. I feel we have gone a step back. I'm happy to be proven wrong. On this one, but I feel we have gone a step back. But anyways, that's fine. Managers come and go, owners come and go, but fans will stay, right? Liam is coming. Liam is coming. I believe we still have to get top 4. I don't care. He's come in January. I actually don't care. I feel getting Champions League, that's just a non-negotiable. What do you think might be the expectations? Well, like what do you expect from him? Where, putting into context the squad right now, the injuries that we have, and the amount of games that we are playing in the moment, what's your expectations like? Be it Champions League, EPL, and all, maybe Carabao, FA Cup. What's your expectations on that?
Yeah, I was yet to build expectations on him, but I want to see how we are going to fare against us now in the second leg of the semi-final. But it doesn't mean that in the back of my mind I don't really, I don't really have kind of demands like what am I expecting? On top of everything that you have just said, I wanted also to throw in some of the forms of the other teams, the other games, like the Man U's, the stuff like that. We are not far away. As far as I'm concerned, we are not far away. But because he hasn't been in charge for a long time, I'm kind of not sure what to expect. I want to believe that he's a guy who is level-headed, honest, and everything. And tactically, I've seen something. The way he goes about decisions, the way he goes about substance, things like that. Maybe he's gonna just probably see us through, like he's gonna probably push us until the top 4, because we need the top 4. If we are
We
to
definitely
make disappointment and do what we did and then we fall out again, I don't expect that. So top 4, for sure, I'm expecting. I want to see more. That is going to convince me to say, okay, if you make this demand on him, he is going to deliver. And also, we are going to us now in the second leg, for sure. This is going to be something big. I expect,
because if you actually look at it, the Arsenal game, we are not that far off. Those 2 Garnacho goals, to be honest, they sort of like set it up nicely. Of course, Arsenal has. Yeah, because of course Arsenal hasn't lost at home, I think. Arsenal hasn't lost at home at all this season. So it's going to be very, very, very difficult. I believe if by chance we score first, to be honest, it's game on. It's game on.
Actually,
if we manage to score first.
If there's one team with this scenario, the situation that we are in, this setup, If there's one team,
So many times. We've seen the script happen so
we have
many
seen it,
times.
man. We have seen it. Where it's not expected. I mean, Napoli,
Benfica.
Benfica. Don't tell me. I mean, Barcelona. Don't tell me.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
situation, the setup is actually good for us. Trust me, it is. I know. Arsenal would, and they know. Actually, Arteta knows they don't have. They have to be on it, on top of it. Arsenal has to be on top of it.
They have to. They have to.
We are not going
It's
to
going
run
to be
over.
very difficult. Yeah, it's going to
Yes.
be very, very difficult
True.
because Arsenal, and I hate the fact that Arsenal, the 2 goals they scored, it was our mistakes. I hate. I'm not going to talk about Sanchez, okay? I'm not going to talk about Sanchez, but I hate the fact that they scored through our mistakes. You know, Sanchez made 2 big blunders.
Two goals.
But yeah. But anyways, on that, I just hope that Liam doesn't try other fancy things. I feel this is a game to just go with what he's got. I like what he did at Brentford. Yes, Brentford would have, if it was another day, Brentford would have maybe killed. They would have got a point or even killed us, right? But the fact that we just did what we had to do to just get the points and just that's it. I just want us not to go too fancy at Arsenal or anything like that. That's why even Jose Mourinho, sometimes you just sit back, hit on the counter, get it done, you know? Anyways,
Just briefly on Liam, that's the flexibility that probably I appreciate about him, whereby he has this way of playing. He knows what he wants from the team, but when it matters, he just makes a decision. Let's shut up top, that's it.
And that's it. Yeah. So Champions League tomorrow, Champions League against Paphos. We are at home, which is good because we have Palace again over the weekend. So it means that, you know, we're at home. We are not traveling, you know, because what's the expectations? Give me a prediction for that match. Yeah.
We don't want
I don't.
surprises. Okay. I don't really know them except that they have David Lewis if he didn't move.
Yes. David
Lewis is gonna come to the geezer. Just give him these flowers and then we beat them up. We have to beat them. What I like about this.
Sorry, I'm just looking at their last few games here just to see. They were beaten on Sunday. They were beaten by Olympiacos 2-0, and then they won the previous game 2-0. Then they won another game before that 2-1.
Okay.
And then they are on a bit of a good run. Let me just check where they are. I want to check where they're standing in their league. So they're on number 2 in the Greek because it's a Greek club. So they're on number 2. They're on number 2 with a game in hand. So they have 37 points. Omonia has 42 points.
Okay.
So they are not far off.
They are different club in their league. Yeah. But trust me, I will say this. And some people, I think they will support me. When you are playing such teams, no matter how bad you are expected to beat those people, like those teams.
Those teams, yeah.
We are Chelsea, right? We are Chelsea. Even if it was
Olympiacos,
the one that we know from them, expected. When we as fans would expect us, we would expect ourselves to beat those.
Yeah.
But they are not two ways. We have to win. And any lineup must beat that team.
Any, because it just goes to the conference, so any team.
Yeah, it has to. You can send, then CB, I want proper CBs there. I want proper. Of course, we have a palace in our head, but maybe I see Chaloba and Badiashil. Then left back is a bit tricky. Jero Ato is good, but I don't know, but I expect him to start. So this is my back four. And then on the midfield, we wanna make it account there. I want, I said, you need to be there. I would throw in Santos. If it was me, I would say Enzo, sit this out, Santos. Then Garnacho, prove again. Yeah, start and prove something. So if he's well, I'm going to want him to start. I want Palmer again to start.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then I'll
I would want
I'll
him.
put the.
Yeah, I would love Palmer to just have a run of games, even if it's a drab game, but like he just needs he needs to play. Yeah,
we need those points actually to be on a somewhere. I know with the situation that we are in, what matters most is to qualify
yeah.
at this point in time. Therefore, forget about top. Just see later what's going to be.
I 100% agree. And on the Palace game, I think we need to win. I think where we are at the moment in the league, we just need wins. I don't care how at this point. I actually don't care how they're gonna play. I just want the 3 points, to be honest.
Not worry about it. We have to find ways to grind the result if it means.
But my problem is knowing Chelsea. Crystal Palace hasn't won hasn't won a game.
Don't do that.
Palace hasn't won a game in 8 games, I think. 8 games. They haven't won a game.
I know.
And Chelsea, we are known as the Undertaker.
No, not this time.
We definitely need to win. We definitely need to win this
all
one.
in one Palace. All in. So it's gonna be Palace, then Arsenal.
I think so.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Let me just, because our next games will be, hang on. So it's going to be, Paphos, Chelsea, Palace. Sorry, it's going to be Paphos on Thursday, Chelsea, Napoli.
Napoli before we play Arsenal, you mean?
Yes. We're going to play Napoli, then West Ham, and then Arsenal.
No, you mean Arsenal in the cup is that far away?
Yeah. It's on 4th of. It's on the 4th of Feb. So it's good.
I don't know how I was
and
looking
bad.
at this picture.
It's good and bad, because the good part is Liam would have had a run of games to actually see where his team is at, and then it's so we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 games before Arsenal. So, and some of the guys who are injured, and we have Negos, Gittens, and all these other guys, they'll be back as well. So, anyways, we hope for the best. And as we close, we're gonna close this segment, but we can't close without talking about the motherland. We can't close without talking about the motherland, the African Cup of Nations final.
I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a religious guy who is always going to go and quote something and say, and I to quote something which was like when some disciples were like, is there anything good that can come out of this land? I mean, I'm a proud African. Everybody knows it. And the world should know it. We are very proud Africans, guys. But the final, I would go back a little bit, if you allow me.
Yeah.
When the AFCON started, I was well invested. Like, I watched probably every match at the start. And then I had to travel. And then when I was traveling, I could not watch matches. I could hear. When you're a football person, you are always gonna
you just
hear.
know what's happening. Yeah.
You're gonna hear about it. You're gonna hear about some issues whereby Tanzania supposed to. I never saw any highlight. They were supposed to have a penalty, and then blah blah blah. And you are just to say, okay, there's VAR now. If VAR said it was not, then it was not. And then you come to watch the final, my brother. And then it all unfolds before you. It unfolds whereby everything which was being said. I think I watched the semi-final matches.
Yeah.
And then I skipped the third place. And then I waited for the final. Oh my goodness, it was embarrassing. There's no other way to say it. It was embarrassing. But
And
at the same time, when you hear stories, you want to say, okay, this justifies it, but it doesn't. In football,
no, it doesn't.
Football, nothing justifies any I don't know how you look at it, how you took it.
Well, for me, to be honest, just looking at the game itself before the drama, the game was balanced. The game was just balanced, you know. Of course, there were before. Let's put the referee aside. I'm just going to put the referee aside. The game was balanced. You know, Senegal came back in the second half. They were, you know, they were making moves, and then Morocco as well. They really wanted to win it as well. But Morocco wasn't the Morocco that I was watching from the start of the tournament. You know, they were neutral. Yeah, they were off. They were neutral. But the referee killed the game, man. Like the referee, the decisions that he made, and the VAR guys, it's just embarrassing. You know, it's just embarrassing.
But at some point, I was saying to the guys, like, why did this referee taking charge of other matches and he was okay? So I was like, wow, he's a good referee from what I've seen before.
Yeah.
And seeing him also getting many matches. I think I've seen more times probably than other referees. So I was like a bit confident. How can if they give him this, it's going to be good. And he was in charge before those incidents.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, the game is like, yeah, we can see incidents, but they are normal for the match. But then when you go to that and then I was like, oh my goodness.
It was embarrassing.
Initially I wanted Morocco to win because of them being good and they've been trying for a long time. And Moroccan friends also that I was watching with, and then the other man was saying, anyway, before I wanted Nigeria and Senegal to win.
Yeah.
So when the Senegal won, I'm like, but for me, the win, no matter who was going to win, the issue, those issues, they tainted the final. They tainted the trophies too.
They did. And the other thing is, on that as well, the other thing is Mane remaining in the on the pitch, going to call out the guys to come back. You know, there's one thing that they specifically say about this, you know, because I know it's trending and all, but what Senegal did, to be honest, that's not it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's not it. No matter how we've seen so much injustice happening. We're talking about Ghana 20 was it 2010? Yeah, Ghana 2010. We're talking about Ghana 2010. We see even a lot of times, you know, but they didn't come off. This was a final. We had so many people, you know, but at the same time, I'm not going to put the Moroccans aside because those guys, what they were doing,
they were doing some.
You know, with the towel, taking Mendy's towel, throwing it away. You know, it's embarrassing. You know, because Morocco, they had hosted, I think, one of the best AFCON in terms of infrastructure. We're talking about infrastructure, quality, you know, organization. And then they let this taint them, you know. But anyways, yeah, it's emotions, you know. There were emotions that were running high and all, but still, you know, for the coach to tell his players to come off and wow, that's not it.
Don't resort.
I know some people are saying it was justified, you know, they had to come off and all these things, but I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, it was, you know, it was bad, you know.
Are they going to behave like that in the World Cup because something
exactly
happened? You can't do
has happened. You can't do that. now they'll be not gonna go fine. They can be fined to such an extent that their football federation can even go broke. Because they will be fined. They're going to
They'll
be
be fined.
fined.
You're going to be fined. For sure.
Definitely, they're going to be fined.
They have to be
But
fined.
yeah, but I want. But in saying that, I want Morocco to be fined heavily as well, because that behavior that was happening, the ball boys taking the towel, and because they did it against Senegal, they did it against Nigeria as well. So, anyways, it was a good episode. We're gonna be talking in the next one. We're probably gonna be talking about what would have happened to be post-match analysis on the Paphos game, the Palace game. So that'll be the next episode. That'll be next week on this podcast, The Bridge and Beyond, where we talk everything Chelsea and everything around Chelsea. So from me, myself, Muna, and Muzet, we say out.